Alright guys, in today's video, I am going to share with you 4 things to help you let go of your fear. Now, being human, we all have fear, right? We're all afraid of things. There's the things that call rational fear that help us preparing what next. Those is a good thing. And there's also a lot of irrational fear that cripple you from living your highest potential, cripple you from being your most authentic self. And those are the fear that we're talking about mostly in this video, because those could be very suffocating and keeping you small when we live in fear. So in that, my hope with this video is going to help you be more free by applying this principle in your situation in life. So first thing first, my friend, is stop judging yourself and your fear for what it is. Now, it's very easy when you are wholehearted, when you're a person who want to be courageous, who are courageous, and you have fear that you have no business of having, and it's very easy for you to judge it, like what's wrong with you, right? Or what, and it's very easy for you to be angry with that fear because you are aware intellectually and cognitively, you understand and aware that this fear is holding you back, but for some reason you can't help it. So in that space, it's very easy to get into the spiral of judgment of self, the spiral of judgment of the fear, just to give you some superior, or to be angry with yourself or angry at your fear. And in that, my question for you is, has it been working for you so far? Probably not. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this, because I used to be one of those person, and I still am get caught up in that sometime, right? How would I know? You know, because that's the only way I knew how to deal with it, is to judge myself and judge my fear, to get moved past it. And obviously you're here and I'm here. That's only worked for so far, and to a certain part of your life that's no longer working, and your system start to come back and say, hey, you know what, the fear start escalating, start getting worse, because we just suppressing it. When you're judging your fear and when you're judging yourself, you actually not dealing with it. You're suppressing your very own nature, and that energy is still in your body, and it's only escalate, you know. So step number 1 is stop judging yourself, my friend, and stop judging the fear. And number 2 is to create space for that fear to move through you and to heal. Now, there's so many different ways to do it. You can do it with someone, with a professional, or you can really sit with that fear. And it's actually not, this is not the fun part. Because there's a reason why we're suppressing it, right? We're judging it, we put it away for a reason, because it's just very painful. But since you are wholehearted, you are a warrior, so let me invite you to be a warrior for yourself in this. And to allow space for this fear to come up and come through you. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, feel it to heal it. It's true. You have to sit and feel it to heal it. And I can give an example. One of my previous client, he's a guy, he's a construction worker, and he have a fear of height. But so every time he get up there on the 80th floor, he had this high level of anxiety. And I was asking, like, Chris, what, how long you been having it? He said, like 15 years. And I'm like, how high is the anxiety? He's like, at the 10. And I'm like, why? He said, well, I gotta feed my kid. I gotta take care of my family. Can you relate to that? Right? So there's a lot of time we have the fear, but we just suck it up anyway, because we do what need to be done. I was a former elite athlete. I know what it's like to suck it up and just stuff things down and do what needs to be done. But then the thing is still there anyway, whether you want to believe it's there or not. So in this case, 15 years later, Chris still feels this anxiety, and it gets to the point that it's just ridiculously, he's like, I can't do this anymore. It's just too much, right? So really, we're looking back. What really happened is 15 years ago, right? I was able to connect to him, his energy, and intuitively go back to the very original point of this fear for him. So 15 years ago, he has a slip, an accident on one of his work site, and it was really scary for him. It shocked his system. So then what happened is his system create this anxiety as a form, like, Chris, don't do that again, because your life is dependent on it. So literally, his anxiety, his body is holding on to this anxiety as his life is dependent on it, because it was true. But because Chris, like most of us, wasn't aware of the significance of it, so he never dealt with that fear or that incident at that time. So it's stuck. It's stuck there for 15 years. So then it's out of his awareness. So then he go to work feeling this crippling anxiety just so he can take care of his family. And he, he did the traditional thing that most of us normally do when we do with fear. We say, suck it up, I'm strong, we can affirm the positive thing, and it works short term, right? You can focus your brain on other thing, but then the feeling inside your body is there. So the whole idea is you want to create space for that actual fear to release. And that's what I did for and with Chris, is to create that space for Chris to release that energy that's stuck 15 years ago, that dictate his own experience for the last 15 years and now. So we're able to bring that anxiety down from a 10 to a 1. For him to like, oh, I have a little edge, because they're like, hey, I don't want to be at a 1. So eventually 10 weeks later, it's like, I want to be a 0 and I'm ready. So not everything has to be a 0, because your life, you get to decide where you want your fear to be, where you want your anxiety is to serve you. So if you are experiencing some sort of fear right now, and you know that it's crippling you, then my question for you is on 0 to 10, where is it? So then the next, if it's a 10, and most of you, if you're watching this video, probably more than 8, 9, 10, otherwise you wouldn't watch it, right? So if it's a 10, my question for you is, where would you like it to be reasonably for you to function in life, right? So then from there, you can fill in the gap, you can ask for help, you can have somebody to help you, or you can really sit with yourself, because there's no one way of doing things. I'm happy to be blessed with a gift that I can connect with people or to certain people and I'm able to help them heal. But there's so many different people out there who can help you. And if not, you can also sit with this. But for whatever reason, my friend, if it is some really deep-seated fear that's been in your life for a long time, I would highly recommend you to seek for a professional. And if your energy feel resonating with me and you feel like, oh my God, I feel like Hang is the person that may be able to help me, then apply for a heart-to-heart conversation with me. It's a complimentary conversations, and I will be happy to let you know whether I can help you or I can send you some recommendations. It's just that my time is a little bit limited, so it's an application process that you have to go through to set up that time. But anyway, so that point number 2 is to really create space and time for the fear to move through you, because it's in your body. You can self-talk yourself all day, but that energy needs to be released, and in the process of release, you will experience that temporary pain, which is normal, because being human, you're supposed to experience fear. You're supposed to experience anxiousness, anxiety to some degree, and it's only temporary. It's not supposed to cripple your whole life. It's not supposed to consume your whole life. And if that is your case right now, I am sorry for that space, because that sucks. And also, I want to let you know that you don't need to stay there, and you don't need to be there forever. There are ways that you can move through it with the right help and with the right commitment to yourself. So with that, my friend, that's number 2. And the number 3 is to acknowledge the purpose of your fear, what it done for you. Because what happened is so easily for us to point a finger at the fear. This is what it did to me, right? Like, for example, for my ex-client Chris, he easily say that fear, I feel shitty, that fear made me feel shitty, that fear made me da-da-da-da. But in reality, every time when you really look, even the darkest, the deepest pain that you experience is doing something for you. So then only you can acknowledge that space by understand the purpose of it. Even though it may not do the thing that you want, but the intention is there. Because, for example, Chris, the intention of his anxiety is to protect his life, to keep him from dying. So how would you treat someone who's looking out for you, who keep you from dying? Do you want to judge them? Do you want to abuse them? Do you want to beat them up? Do you want to shut them off for trying to help you? Or do you want to try to understand? If somebody trying to help you, when you want to understand and when you want to let them know, well, if you really want to help me, this is how I want you to help me. So my invitation is to create that relationship with your fear. Acknowledge that, yeah, well, thank you for trying to help me. But how you going about it is not really working out for me. Like going up on this table and look down 4 feet. Rationally, if I jump up, I'm safe. but then I have this anxiety attack, this is not working for me. So then you get to tell your fear what purpose you want to give it. Are you with me so far? You get to determine how you want your relationship with this fear. Because this fear, I am sorry, is a part of you. Which is lead to point number 4, is to come to acceptance of all parts of you, my friend. Because fear is part of you. Love is part of you. It's all of it. Being in this human experience, being in this human body, you're going to feel all of it. The thing is, what we're trying to do, we're trying to control. We're trying to change life, right? We try, and we're trying to let go of fear. We're trying to control fear. But the thing is, don't let go of the fear. Let go of your reaction toward the fear, because the fear is just a normal thing. And I promise, if you can make the space and just give the fear that space, it will move through and pass you. The complication in this is ourselves. We attach meaning to the fear. We give judgment to the fear, right? We give all these unnecessary things to the fear itself and not allowing the fear to pass through. Simply, what you do is simply coming to terms with life, with who you are. I am humans. And as humans, I am going to experience all these things. I'm letting go of my reaction to these things that are happening, because this is just part of life. Fear is part of life. And by allowing yourself to move through it, you prevent yourself from so many unnecessary suffering. So go back to the case of Chris, my ex-clients. When the accident happened, being humans, it's a natural thing for him to feel that shock. Agree? Depending on how sensitive you are. If you're a highly sensitive, empathic person like me, you're going to feel that very intensively. But if you're not, you may not. But you're still human. If you slap yourself, you're going to feel. Then you're human. Then allow yourself to feel that. Allow yourself to process that fear right there, right then. So then if he dealt with it then, like, oh, okay, I should be scared to do this. So he can consciously let his system move through, and then he's free from that. So then he doesn't have to feel this anxiety going up the stair, not even at the ledge, where his life is perfectly safe, right? So in that, my friend, accept all parts of yourself, because that make you you, that make you unique. And in that, the deepest part of yourself, the coldest part of yourself, is really the light of love and of joy and all of it. Allow yourself to be in that moment. Allow yourself to be free by letting it pass through you, not trying to suffocate it or try to control it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that these 4 points is helping you, give you perspective, give you insight, and give you inspired action to take the next step to experience deeper freedom within yourself. I appreciate having you in the community. If you find this video helpful, please forward to the people in your life that you feel is going to be helpful for them. If you have already, subscribe to the channel, set on a notification, and we'll let you know when the next video comes out. For now, I'm sending you love from my heart to yours, and from the beautiful Hawaii to wherever you are in the world. Aloha.